Good morning, my friends. It is Dyno Day. Yet again, we have found ourselves on another Dyno Day, and these are always the scariest days for me. We're taking the BRZ up to Intech tuning today. I see today going one of two ways. Very happy, very fun. BRZ is gonna make some power. We're gonna bring it back. It's gonna be all hunky-dory. The BRZ will live. Second option is that the BRZ is going to blow up on the way to the dyno. That's my other fear. Melanie just pulled up. She's gonna be following us in the BRZ up there just to make sure that everything's fine. If anything does go wrong, at least we have a backup car. We can get this one towed. And well, let's just not think about that because we don't want that to happen. Also, little fun update for everyone. Got the Drive hoodies in. Super stoked for these. I'll get these up on the website in the next couple weeks when I get the new t-shirts and the new stickers coming in and a couple other fun things. But let's get a cold start set up on the BRZ right now. I want to let it warm up as much as possible before driving it up there, just to make sure that operating temp and everything like that is on our side. Since remember, we are driving this up with no tune on it, so let's make sure we at least do it somewhat safe. Alright, I feel comfortable driving it up there now. Oil pressure's dropped down to about 40 PSI now. We are running rich, as you guys know. We're hanging out around like 13.5 up to like 15. Vacuum's normal, so I'm gonna drive this here. If anything bad happens, I'll pull over. I'll show you guys whatever happens. I'm hoping nothing bad happens, so let's get this thing up to the tuner and hopefully make sure it gets there in one piece. The BRZ has made it. It was a very sketchy drive coming up. The car shut off multiple times, as I talked about in the last video. But when we were coming down one of the big hills, everything shut off. The only thing that worked in the car was the tachometer. I had no power steering, brake light was on, ABS, check engine, everything. I didn't even have like the speedometer. I had no idea how fast I was going. Melanie was nice enough to follow me in her Impreza, so that way she could pace me and keep some distance between other drivers out on the road. But we made it here safely in one piece. I was like closely monitoring the AFRs, the boost, and the oil pressure as we were coming up. And even with all the other sensors shut off in the car, with those 3 gauges, I was still able to monitor everything enough to feel safe driving the car. Just because I know if AFRs got like crazy high or crazy low, then I know I would have to shut the car off immediately. But having that gauge in there was a huge lifesaver. So we have about an hour and some change to kill right now before they open. It's about 9:40. They open up at 11. Super cool shop up here. They're like tucked away in this little like business center, but super awesome people up here. So we're gonna go grab some breakfast. We'll come back in an hour and a half or so. Once we get that done, or once we eat and they open, we'll come back, we'll get the car checked in, we'll go do all the other stuff, and they'll do their pre-dyno checks. We'll get the car up on the dyno and hopefully make some good numbers today, right? She says yes.
Says yes.
Yes.
Da.
We'll see you soon. So we just got back from breakfast, got checked in over here at Intech. They're getting the car loaded up on the racks to get it pushed onto the dyno right now. It is a Dynajet, it's not a Dynapack like I thought it was. So far, pretty much everything checks out. There were a couple things that came up, but we were already pretty much aware of them, which was the oil cooler location. They do suggest wrapping the downpipe with some heat wrap. I do have some in the garage, so I'll probably do that later next week or later this week, but it's definitely struggling right now. So we're gonna get a base tune thrown on the car, start doing a couple pulls. They told me that we're thinking about shooting up to like 8 to 11 PSI for the turbo setup, but we'll see what happens. But super stoked. Once we actually get going on the dyno, we'll start filming some stuff, but super cool little shop. Let me kind of show you guys what's around here. So a lot of cool cars up here. There's like an R33 over there, R32 hanging around the corner, a couple FDs, a whole bunch of like 2J swapped, like Corollas, S2000 swapped. No, I think that's the Corolla's S2000 swapped, and the RX-7 over there has a 1J in it, but a lot of cool like JDM cars up here. Really cool little shop if anyone is up in like the Pacific Northwest area and is looking for like a good tune. Like these guys are super good. And then Devin came back. Car just got strapped down up on the dyno up there. They're flashing the base map onto it right now with the ECU tech. Super cool shop, so I'm assuming we're gonna get going here soon. It's going a lot quicker than it did over at Surgeline last time. I think last time at Surgeline we ended up waiting around for a couple hours all day, but things are just moving a lot faster here, which has me stoked because I want to drive that thing with that new turbo setup on it. Oh, we've got lights on. Lights are on in the BRZ. The BRZ is sort of alive. I think they're letting it warm up right now and dialing in the idle for it. So once stuff has kind of been dialed in for it, we should be good to go here. Hello, white van. Once stuff actually starts to get dialed in, we'll walk up there, we'll get some footage of the power poles and whatnot, and see how much power she actually makes. It's starting to rain again. So hatchback's pretty awesome. It is like pee and rain everywhere, and we're all just like kind of kicking it in the hatch right now while we're waiting for them to get the car going. But if you got a hatchback, very versatile car. So we're having a little bit of an issue with the ECU tech cable and license. Apparently the base map that they just built, they're having issues uploading it to the car. I guess that there's some ROM files that the ECU tech just doesn't like to accept sometimes. So they're fighting through it right now. Lawrence is super awesome. He's the tuner up here. They gave him his pro license, pro cable to try to mess with it and try to get it going. So they've started the car a couple times, but no real progress aside from building a base map and trying to upload it onto the car. But hopefully here in the next like hour or so, minutes, tens of minutes, I don't know. We'll get it figured out and I'll keep you guys in the loop. So hopefully the BRZ gets tuned today. If not, then it's a 2-week like patch process where they have to send out the map to ECU tech. They need to make a patch for it and then send it back to them. So hopefully the BRZ gets tuned today. If not, it'll be pushed out 2 weeks, but one way or another, we're gonna get this done. So I'm like kind of tucked away in the back of the hatch here, and the hatch is like somewhat closed. But I think good progress has been made. The car started and it's running again, so it makes me think that the patch may have gone through, or whatever they were trying to do to upload the tune is working. But we're still on standby. The car's just idling on the dyno right now. So it's just idling up there. Hopefully this is good progress. We'll find out though, so back to standby. So gotta be a good sign. Car's getting into boost, blow-off valves opening, excess boosts coming out. They're doing something, so I'm guessing that the ECU took the tune and the BRZ is actually responding well, so we'll see what happens. I think they're just doing some baseline pulls right now just to kind of see where the car is at, and then we're gonna get into some power pulls, but progress, Devin.
Yes! There we go.
600 horsepower. 1,000. How much horsepower, Devin?
I have to look at my comments.
Oh my god. This car's gonna boogie. It's gonna boogie, dude. It's gonna boogie down. So I don't think we've actually gotten into any like of the power pulls yet. I think they're still getting kind of the bass tune set up on there, but we're getting into boost now, so this is making progress. There's a lot of like adjustments going on with it, especially going from like a naturally aspirated car over to a turbo setup. So as this continues,
The phone was like right here.
I don't even know what these two are doing anymore.
Like talking to me at the same time.
Oh, and talking.
Oh, I didn't want to be rude.
That's one.
So as it continues, I'll definitely keep you guys updated, but there's just a lot of like idling, getting the tune kind of dialed in, but super awesome shop so far. They've been super transparent also. The owner came out, talked to me a little bit about some of the issues they were having, how they're working through them and whatnot. So if you guys are up here and you guys do need a tune, Intech is a really good shop. They don't do a lot of like Subaru specific stuff for like WRXs and STIs. They more so do like a lot of Nissans. There's a lot of GTRs up here, a lot of 2JZs. They do a little bit of these FA20s and the BRZs and FRSs, but super awesome shop for anyone who's looking for a quality tune up here. Say that again for me.
This is not a sponsored video.
Thank you, Devin. So things are still going great. They're still doing power pulls in there, getting everything dialed in. Well, we're not really to like the power pulls yet. So far with just kind of dialing everything in on 6 PSI, we're sitting at around 250 horsepower and 200 foot-pounds of torque. There's still a lot more that is going on. We've been fighting with the boost controller. For some reason, whenever they try to turn up the boost, it turns it down and vice versa. It's a really weird setup. So they're getting it all kind of like dialed in, dialed out. But we're making power. We're doing it. We're doing the stuff. We're doing the things and the stuff. So super cool shop, super transparent. Let's make some more power. So it sounds like the BRZ is getting into power a little bit easier now and things are starting to smooth out a lot more. I think the last time we checked we were around like 260, 250 wheel horsepower, around 200 foot-pounds of torque. We're estimating it's gonna be around like 270 to around 270, 230-ish, but we're still doing polls, so we'll see where we end up landing. But so far, everything's going solid. You guys, I'm really wanting an FD as the next project car. That gray one right there would be ideal for what I'm looking for. Or I just want an FD at some point in my life. Those things are dope. Things are still going well out here. They're still tuning the car. They're getting into power a little bit more. I think we're up in like the 270-ish range for wheel horsepower torque. I'm not quite sure at this point, but the BRZ is responding a lot better than it was before. There is like a slight issue with hot starts for some reason. The car doesn't like to turn off and then turn right back on. It takes a little bit of gas to get it going, but I think that's all in the tune and I think that's gonna get worked out. But this is an incredibly awesome shop. Adam LZ actually had his car tuned here yesterday for Formula Drift. I didn't know that till earlier, till someone sent me a video of it. So it's kind of cool that Adam LZ just got his car tuned here. But let's continue with the tune. Let's keep going on this. I think we're maybe an hour, 2 hours left. I think they're about to do some more runs. So let's go get some footage. So they're pulling the car off of the dyno right now. We just got done. There wasn't any like big power pulls on the end like there was last time, but we got our printout. Numbers, I don't want to show you guys numbers yet. Actually, I'll show you guys numbers. So the car made 282 wheel horsepower and 234 foot-pounds of torque. So I'm actually pretty happy with that as a daily driver. It should be fun. The tune cost around $800, so it wasn't as bad as the STI was last time, but I am very excited to drive the car, see how it feels now. The throttle body apparently does need to relearn a little bit. I guess the 12 to 14 throttle bodies are like an adaptive throttle body, so as we drive it, it should relearn everything. I also had that battery disconnected for quite a while, so it reset ECU learning. So when we first got the car up on the dyno, the ECU had to relearn a lot of crap going on, but glad that it's done. They did a killer job on the tune, so looking forward to driving it. So BRZ is coming off the dyno right now. As it comes off, we'll or once it's back down on the ground, we'll hop in it. We'll wrap this video up, and then I'm gonna go play with this thing because I am more than excited to go jump in that thing, go play with the newfound horsepower it has. So just got back to the house. That thing is the most fun thing I have ever driven. I'm going to say that right now. With 282 wheel horsepower and 234 foot-pounds of torque, it's more than enough for that thing, I promise. Like even in fifth gear, with the 255 45s in the rear, it still broke traction, and I am loving every second of it. We did stay at 8 PSI on the dyno, which put us at those numbers. Wastegate is 7 PSI on the spring, so the dyno went awesome. The car's running fantastic. I'm pretty sure, I'm like 90% sure it shoots fire. Not entirely sure. So huge shout out to Intech. I'm actually gonna go drive this thing some more because I'm so stoked. I don't know who won yet, so I'm gonna insert name here.
Romario Smith.
Perfect. So congratulations. Shoot me an email. I'll like put it right there or something like that. Shoot me an email. I'll get you some merch sent your way for guessing the closest or the most accurate, because I don't know who actually won yet, but regardless, I had a great day. I'm gonna be honest, I'm loving every second of this thing. This is by far the most fun car I've driven right now, and I am loving every second of it. I love this more than the STI right now after I got done tuning the STI. Like, the STI was fun, but that thing is like an entirely different type of fun. Let me tell you that right now. But I'm gonna end it here. So with that, I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, go ahead, hit that thumbs up, turn it blue like Melanie's Subaru. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit your boy up. Just because we're done turbocharging the BRZ doesn't mean we don't have fun things coming. We got the EG33 swap coming for the STI. Update on that also. The cams got done. Delta cams, you guys are awesome. The cams have been sent down to Outfront. I'm almost done paying off the motor at Outfront, so that way once it's done and finished, they can just ship it right back up to us. We can start mocking stuff up in the STI. But with that, I will catch you guys in the next one, because we're gonna be doing an actual drive with this guy. So I'm pumped, but I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies.